The next thing with quadratic equations is showing that we know how to graph them. So this is what all of you should be doing in your Algebra 1 class. Now, what I've given to all of you guys is a handout on this very topic. And the way that we're going to go through this topic is there'll be a little bit of lecture where I'll explain some things to you. I will show you how to do some of the exercises by modeling it on the smartboard and also looking at the handout. And then in little steps, you guys will demonstrate that you know how to do these things at your desk. So the beauty of this, if you pay attention, if you do the work today, when you're done, you're going to walk out of here and you're going to have the fundamental knowledge of how to graph a quadratic equation. I promise you that if you pay attention and come along for the ride. Some of you may find this material a little bit basic, or you've already got it in your Algebra 1 class. If that's the case, while I'm talking, there is a little bit of extra credit on the last page where you can do a bit more advanced work which demonstrates that you know how to convert a quadratic equation from standard form to vertex form and how to graph that. So that's available if you want to move ahead at a slightly faster pace. But if you do the basics of what we're doing, you're going to be in very good shape as far as the fundamentals of graphing a quadratic equation. All right? So, just as the line has its characteristics, the things you need to know. You need to know the slope of the line. You need to know a point on the line. You need to know the equation of the line. There are similar things to know about a quadratic equation. When you want to graph it, there's a few key things you need to know. The first thing you need to know is where does the graph intercept the x-axis? So Emelina, when I say where does the graph or where does the equation intercept the x-axis, what do I mean by that? So
y equals 0.
Y equals 0 is absolutely correct. So if I look at this right here, that's a blank graph. Good to know. X coordinates, Y coordinates. Oftentimes when you're drawing a graph, it's good to just do little markings. And each one of those typically represents a movement of 1 point. So there's an example, just kind of an empty graph waiting for us to do our graph. So I'm going to draw a simple quadratic equation. All right. So we've discussed that the shape of a quadratic equation will always be a parabola, a smile or a frown. Let me ask you then, Alexa, if you look at this graph here, can you tell me where is the x-intercept? Or there's two of them on this graph. Can you tell me what those points are?
0 and
Excellent. So the first one is, well, to be a little bit more careful, x is -2 and y is 0. All right, so that's one x-intercept.
0
And excellent. The other, well, it's not a whatever, it's great. You did it. You're absolutely right. So those are the two x-intercepts of the graph. So you want to know the x-intercept. Now, here's another, oh, thank you. Yes. Excellent. Excellent. 2 and 0. So those are our x-intercepts. Now, Kathy, if I can ask you, another important thing that we need to know about a parabola is where is its vertex. Now, the vertex, when the parabola opens up, is the bottommost point. When the parabola opens down, it's the highest point. So So can you tell me what is the vertex for this graph? 0, -2. Absolutely correct. Okay, so there's our vertex. Okay. Now this one's kind of a little bit of a fun one. Raphael, the third thing that we want to know about a graph is where is the y-intercept, or where does this graph intersect the y-axis? Can you tell me what that point is? That's the point where 0, -2. Yes. Okay. In this case, the vertex is the same as the y-intercept. And here we have 2 x-intercepts. Right? And that's the information that really gives us the basic shape of the parabola. And Ms. Leona, if that's close to 5 minutes,